Hi everybody, I'm Darren Moore and you're watching Reggae Boys Commentary.
Hey guys, thank you so much for taking your time out to watch this video in particular. But let me give you an update on a channel called Sport City. Yes, Sport City. It is a channel dedicated to everything related to Jamaican sports. Football, cricket, athletics, netball, rugby league, rugby union, tennis, lacrosse, swimming, you name it, we got it on Sport City. And what is the channel designed to do? It is designed to highlight Jamaican talents across all of those sporting disciplines. If you're a Jamaican and you're playing that sport, then we got you covered on Sport City. So it's quite simple, guys. Hit the subscribe button to Sport City right now. This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105. Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are across the globe. My name is Simon Preston, and welcome back to Reggae Boys Commentary. This is the channel where we come together to discuss everything in relation to Jamaican football, your number one source for everything Jamaican football related. How's everyone doing? See Siobhan Peart in the comments quite early. Happy Sunday, Simon. Hope you had a great weekend. It was a pleasant and restful weekend, I must say. It has been has been good. So thank you very much. Really, really appreciate it. And Marvin Farron, bless up yourself, Simon, and keep doing the great work. I really, really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. It really, really means a lot to me, In life, it's important to give commendation. All of us as human beings, we thrive off of commendation, we thrive off of positivity. And it is something that really we need to demonstrate, and it's something that we should all be demonstrating as well as it relates to our national teams, the senior men, senior women, under 17. Let's push positivity. Let's push positivity. Let's push that sense of drive, that determination, that energy, that strength, because great things will happen with positivity. Being optimistic about things, great things will happen. We want to see Jamaica go out there and do extremely well in the Gold Cup, the Nations League, qualify for an under-17 World Cup. If Jamaica is invited to the CAC Games, go to the CAC Games and medal in the CAC Games. We want our reggae girls to go to the Pan Am Games and medal in the Pan American Games. We want our reggae girls to go and qualify for the Olympic Games as they play Canada in a home and away Olympic playoff. So we want success. We want the best. So it's imperative, the positivity that we push, and it's important that we continue to do it along those lines as well. We're all imperfect, guys. We all make mistakes. If person shouts or anything like that, But at the end of the day, as it relates specifically to what we're referring to in relation to the national programs, it's important that we all get behind the team, give them the support that they need, and the positivity will continue. IT Push says, Wagwan Simon, or Wago Simon. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well, and hope everybody else is doing well by extension. So it's great to catch up with you guys in this another video. And if you haven't already, smash the like button. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button as well. I want to show you guys a picture. And I want you guys to be fully aware of this individual in particular, so that you guys are aware of him in particular. Trent Boring says, jobless. And Marvin Ferris, Simon, how is the under 17 doing so far? Did Jamaica get Zach Lovelace? All right, so on Monday, which is tomorrow, the head coach of Jamaica's under 17 team, Maron Gordon, he will hold a press conference to provide updates as it relates to the contingent of the squad and how the team is shaping up leading into the CONCACAF under 17 championship in Guatemala. The hope is that prior to the CONCACAF under 17 championship, that there will be a camp in Florida for about a week or so to fine-tune preparation and raise the magnitude of the preparations leading into Guatemala. So tomorrow, that is when we will have updates as it relates to the squad. What we're aware of right now is that the provisional list has been sent into CONCACAF. And of course, at the end of the month, that is when we'll know the final squad that has been selected for the CONCACAF Under 17 Championship. Greetings, MPEC. How are you doing? Hope you're doing, my friend. Hope you guys are doing well and that you guys are having a pleasant day. So what I want to do right now is show you guys a picture of somebody that I know you guys would know well. Is that player right there? And that's Kyle Ming. So on Boxing Day, Cavalier played Harborview in the JPL, and it's as if every time Harborview were about to play the final ball, that Kyle Ming was able to read it 2 to 3 seconds before Harborview were able to play the pass as well. So the way that he was able to intercept possession, the way how he read the game, as Rudolph Speed said in an interview on this platform a couple of days ago, he said that Kyle Ming can spot danger from a mile away. And that in itself is critical because Kyle Ming has demonstrated these amazing qualities. And for me, out of all the defenders that ply their trade within the Jamaica Premier League, he's the one defender that I believe deserves an opportunity in terms of getting a debut in the national team. Mr. Speed said it's a mystery why he hasn't received a national cap as yet. So quite interesting, yeah. Travis Pessoa says, check in, happy Sunday everyone in the chat. Hope you're doing well, Travis. How are you? How are your family doing? MPEC, guys, please send your prayers to MPEC. Please send your well wishes to MPEC. He's recovering after doing a minor operation. So MPEC, wishing you and your family well as well, and hopefully you're able to recover from this chapter of your life and move forward. So I'm happy that the operation was a success, and hoping that there will be no need for a situation of this in the future. And I'm just glad that you're able to come out of this operation successfully and safe and sound, my friend. Chris Smith says, up, Simon. Shavan Peart says, bless. Chris Smith says, Travis, up, bro. So basically what I have is a list of 10 players that Simon Preston. Yeah, man. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. So I have a list of 10 central defenders that personally I would love to see part of the pool for 2023 in particular. And I know when you're bearing in mind 11 players on a pitch and going 10 deep in all those 11 positions, then that's quite deep. That's 110 players right there in the grand scheme of things. 110 players are not going to play for Jamaica this year. And that is not speaking negatively or pessimistically. It is just objectively speaking. When you're bearing in mind the CONCACAF Nations League and potentially a semi-final, a final, a third place playoff. If Jamaica gets to a Gold Cup final, that's 6 more matches, that's 9. And then when you bear in mind a couple of friendlies later in the calendar year, Jamaica will play 12 matches, 10 to 12 matches this calendar year. And to give 100 players, that would mean that you'd have to play a different 11 every game. And I don't expect 11 debuts every time we play. So it is true that Jamaica will not be giving 110 debuts this calendar year. That is absolute facts, right? But I think it's important that we're aware of the pool that we have at our disposal so we can be like, okay, this can work or that can work. This person is suspended, back-to-back yellow cards. This person is injured. This person has personal reasons. So these are some things that we'll have to analyze moving forward. And as we get towards the CONCACAF Nations League and the Gold Cup, these sorts of conversations, I'm sure, will be more up to fruition. Let God be with you, MPEC. Yeah. Yeah, guys. Yeah, I'm getting to him. I'm getting to him as well, Mr. Galaxy. So I have Cal Ming at number 10 on this list. Adrian Mariappa, number 9. Jamai Topi, number 8. Dishon Bernard, number 7. Liam Moore, number 6. Reese Oxford, number 5. Joel Latipoder, number 4. Damien Lowe, number 3. Richard King, number 2. And Ethan Pinnock, number 1 on this list. So those are the 10, you could say, central defenders that I have in terms of my pool in particular. Trevor says, Simon, I see persons talking about Reese Oxford to play for us. He's not interested to play for Jamaica. So, Travis, as I said in yesterday's video, I had a conversation with the grand uncle, Neville Oxford of Reese Oxford. As we know, Neville Oxford is an absolute legend. He's somebody that represented Jamaica and somebody that played for Jamaica, somebody that played professionally in Brazil and at Kingston College old boy, Kingston College legend. So he is the grand uncle of Reese. And basically what he was saying is that Reese still harbors ambitions to play for England, which is true. He still harbors ambitions. But for me, how I've always said things and what I've always said to you guys is life is unpredictable. Reese is going to be 25 later this year. If we're being completely frank, Travis, do you honestly see Reese Oxford as part of England's pool of centre halves when you're bearing in mind the likes right now of Harry Maguire, John Stones, Connor Cody, right now, Ben White? Do you see Reese Oxford breaking into that mix and getting a call-up or a cap? Even if Harry Maguire and John Stones had injuries, right? Would Reese Oxford be next in line? Or would it be Fikayo Tomori that would be next in line? So these are some things that we'll have to think about. And I'd love to hear what you have to say, Travis, about this in particular. All the best in your recovery, MPEC. Yes, all the best indeed. Nitro up. Nitro says Gunners. Nitro, you're a Tottenham fan? I mean, you're an Arsenal fan? I mean, the run that Arsenal are on is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Good thing that I put Martin Odegaard in my fantasy team. Yeah, it's a good thing that I put him in my team. What about Ben Godfrey and Mason Holgate? Just a question. Well, why I don't have them in my list in particular? Well, I'm honestly a bit personally, I think Ben is still going to linger hope that he'll get that third cap or have that opportunity. When you bear in mind, Harry Maguire, 29, going on 30. Kyle Walker is already in his 30s. John Stones, 28, going on 29 this year. I think Ben still feels like he has an opportunity. Mason? I know Mason was overlooked in terms of my list in particular. I know. Apex says, I saw Topi in the JPL. He needs a lot more development. King is way ahead of him. Absolutely. You're absolutely spot on. And Rudolph Speed, as you heard in that interview that he made mention about, saying that it's not that there's no interest for King. It's about what is the best opportunity for Richard King, which is absolutely fair. Sending Richard King to USL League One, is that the best for his development? Not necessarily. So that's how I feel. Simon, he will never play for England. He's delusional. Reese Oxford, you're talking about, Chris, or you're talking about somebody else in particular? Asher says, of course, you're an Arsenal fan. Okay, all right. Cool. Just making sure, because I know a couple of Arsenal fans who are subscribers to the channel, so I was just curious. Okay. Trevor says, Simon, that's why Helgrimson says he's not picking players who are not interested to play for us. Reese Oxford needs to know where his football priorities lie. Okay. So, as it relates to Michael Hector, as you know, there have been some reports in England as it relates to Sheffield Wednesday wanting him, but I don't think that that is the opportunity that Hector wants. To the best of my knowledge, Reading are willing to take him on, but as you know, I think his agent and his father, so they're sitting down and talking about opportunities. Yeah, it's. I think it's quite eye-opening that he hasn't played in a while. Put it that way. But as I said, he was and has been in the gym and training with Anthony Grant at Dagenham and Redbridge. It doesn't mean to say that they're going to sign for Dagenham and Redbridge, but they're just training and regaining their fitness and everything of that nature. So, yeah, Lloyd Kelly, for me, I think I have I had him in my left back pool, I think. All right, back pool. Travis, his grand uncle Neville Oxford played for Jamaica, so no why he doesn't want to play for us. Well, remember, Chris, that from Reese was 16, he was tipped to be the next Rio Ferdinand. He was tipped to lead England at the 2022 World Cup. He was tipped to basically go on this incredible run of games, but injuries hampered him and his progress, to be quite fair. And I think the move to Germany allowed for that fresh start. That move to Germany, for me personally, it takes you could say, the microscope off of him, because JT Taylor made a very, very good point that when you're in England, the microscope is always on you. You're scrutinized about your performances, but at the same breath, it can also improve you because you're seeing and hearing what people are saying about you week in, week out, that you're going to have to say to yourself, but hold on, if this is what people are saying is my weakness and I'm seeing it as well, then I'm going to have to improve that, so maybe a move to England might not be the worst thing in the world for Reese. What about Reese Williams? Reese is a good player, and based on the discussions that I had with Ryan LFC, he doesn't think Reese right now is ready for Jamaica. That was the last conversation that I had with Ryan, because I had a discussion with him about how he did at Liverpool and right now at Blackpool. He doesn't think right now that Reese is ready for basically for Jamaica. My honest opinion, I would have him part of the pool, but Ryan is saying he's not ready, and I'll trust Ryan's judgment as he's watched Liverpool players week in, week out. Simon, why always talk about the players that are maybes are never? Some players just don't care for international ball that much. We need to focus on the real players that are available. I understand what you're saying, John Doe. At the same breath, it's also imperative that we show as well who is eligible. Even if your fingernail is Jamaican, I will do my best to show whoever has Jamaican heritage, because it's important to share information, factual information, so that everybody is aware of it. Okay, duly noted. Yeah. Sean Bernard right now is at Manchester United, so he has not played. He's been in the under 23s, put it that way. He's been playing in the under 23s and he's looked decent in the under 23s. But personally, for the next step of his development, being in the academy is not the best thing for him. He's going to need to move on. I don't think there's a future for him at Manchester United, if I'm being quite frank with you guys. Hull fans appreciate the work, so going to East Yorkshire might not be the worst idea in the world. I actually do think that he needs to be in an environment championship where he can get those games. As you know, the championship, they play games Tuesday, Sunday, Tuesday, Sunday, Tuesday, Sunday, Tuesday, Sunday. And I think that might be good for him and his growth. Trevor says Reese Williams is not good. Really? Really? You don't rate Reese at all? That's sad. Luke Badley Morgan. I know that he was recovering from an injury where Luke is concerned, and Ricardo Fuller said that he was going to have a conversation about him. Okay, thank you very much, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Really, really appreciate your update. Thank you very much for your loyal support, and I really, really appreciate it. So we'll always stay in touch. What do you think about the guy in Belgium? Yeah, so Tarek Jimenez, for me, this upcoming season is about ensuring that he can gel, grow, get accustomed to the conditions and lifestyle and everything of that nature. That is what I'm hoping that its opportunity will do. I don't think he's in the frame, to be quite frank with you. Wingston Fowlin says Zach Medley. Yep, Zach Medley is a good player, and Devon Porter will tell you as well that he's been looking at him from his time at Chelsea. I caught on him when he left Chelsea and went to Arsenal in terms of the academy system. 6'5", 22, will be 23 sometime in July, I believe. 6'5", and plying his trade in Belgium. So I think he would be a great option as well. So very, very good point, Winston Fowlin. Very, very good point about Zach Bedley. Chris said, do you think that the coach would have to Mason Hogan because the England train passed him? No, right time to get because only Ethan Pinnock would be ahead of him. All right, good point. A Caribbean team can come out of nowhere and be the dark horse for Gold Cup. Well, Trent, the reality of the situation is that as it relates to the Gold Cup, there's still a few more places to be ironed out. Right now in the Gold Cup, Qatar, Panama, Jamaica, El Salvador are the only teams that have qualified for the tournament right now. So it's still a scenario where there are places to be ironed out. But in terms of actual dark horses at the Gold Cup, a team that can go and have a deep run, outside of Qatar, would Jamaica be considered a dark horse? Would Jamaica be considered a dark horse? If Jamaica is not considered a dark horse, then I would have to tell you Haiti. I'd have to say Haiti. Yeah, I would have to say Haiti. Simon, even Ben Godfrey, I think we have a good chance to get him. Chris, you feel that Ben Godfrey is way too far in the pecking order for England, in your honest opinion? I still feel that Ben harbors hopes, but in my honest opinion, even if there's no Maguire, no Stones, no Connor Cody, I don't see Ben Godfrey in the frame. So you have a good point. Simon, what's your thoughts on the game yesterday? Are those youngsters good enough to be part of the Reggae Boys core in the next 4 years? It's a very good question, Impec. That's a really, really good question. And I'll answer the question this way. For me, Impec, and this is something that I've spoken about time and time again. Maybe you guys will think I am livid for saying it or ludicrous for saying something like this, but here's the situation. I am not. The reason why you don't see me get giddy or excited about schoolboy football is for a number of reasons. One, I didn't go to a public high school, so I was never in that school spirit, rivalry, frenzy, anything of that nature. The second reason is this. The 17-year-old equivalent of a Whisper, the 17-year-old American, Canadian, Mexican, they're at their clubs and they're playing either in the under-21s or they're on the bench of the first team and getting a few minutes each and every game. So those 16 and 17-year-olds that play for the United States, Mexico, Costa Rica, Canada, they're already professionals. The 17-year-olds that took the field last night, they're not professionals. They're not. Schoolboy football is, believe it or not, development has to come from clubs, not from schools. So to answer your question, MPEC, Reggae Boys core in the next 4 years. I look forward to see Wispo getting a club. That's what I'm hoping will happen. And I think that will be absolutely massive for his growth and development as a player. But MPEC, let's go back even a decade. Let's go back a decade. The rave that Alex Marshall was getting, he should have been in Europe, right? He should have. He should have. Brian Brown, for me, should have been in Europe more consistently. Anthony Walker, Elvis Powell. Elvis Powell is a great schoolboy player, but I think that he should have. I think that he could have been in England. Kessanio Hall. That's another one as well. So that's how I feel about it. Not at this stage, my friend. What's up, Simon? Speedy recovery, MPEC. Travis, you have to understand these players are making $1,000 a week. They're born in England and jobs to find their charge players. If Jamaica was winning and consistently in the top 3, more UK players would be interesting. Possibly. I understand the point about Omari Hutchinson staying at Arsenal because would he have gotten the playing time, in your opinion? Or would Saka have been ahead of him in the pecking order? And there's a thing about, he started his career at Chelsea, and to go on and make his debut at Chelsea, it would have been like a dream come true to actually accomplish what he set out to do, Nathan Ferguson, when your cover is a good player. Simon, what Morocco put in place to recruit players, the JFF needs to look at what they're doing. Well, as I've said, Chris, there's no... When it comes to Morocco, as you know, they're very, very close geographically to Spain and France, which is where a lot of where their players are born into Moroccan parents and grandparents. Also the Netherlands as well, which of course, as you know, Hakim Ziyech was born there. So Jamaica's 3 biggest diasporas, the US, the Canadian, the UK, certainly areas to be embraced. Simon, do you know that USA track most of the 3 years to get him to play for them? Why are we afraid to go after the players? No, I wouldn't say we're afraid to go after players. Honestly, I wouldn't say that we are afraid to go after players. No. Afraid? No, I wouldn't use that adjective at all. But you're right about most of it. 3 years, you're right. They know exactly what they want, and they identified it, and they targeted it. Someone needs to iron out the Murray Gray situation. We honestly need him. Simon, what do you honestly think about Ivan Toney? Honestly, the truth and more, I am not holding my breath on Ivan Toney. Do I think there's a chance that he could play for Jamaica? Well, I don't think that he's going to play for England, especially after the situation that he's battling at this point in time. I don't think that he's going to be called up to play for England, personally. I don't think that Ivan Toney is going to be called up to play for England. So that leaves Jamaica and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So I don't know if St. Vincent and the Grenadines have reached out to him, but I think it's quite compelling how he was celebrating promotion with a St. Vincent and the Grenadines flag and not a Jamaican flag. If Ivan Toney still harbors hopes to play for England, I wish him well. Well, all the best. Aldridge looks decent. Okay. Simon, I'm reading an article the other day. The Americans are looking for dual nationals in Europe right now because they're saying to match up with the top teams, and MLS players won't do it. They're taking the necessary steps, aren't they? The sports minister should be expediting the migrate passport and citizenship process. Well, the migrates, Mr. Galaxy, it's a team effort in terms of the JFF, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, the Passport, Immigration, Citizenship Agency, the consulates, the Jamaican High Commission in London. Everybody has to work together and be singing from the same hymn sheet. And if everybody's doing that, then everything will fall into place. So that's going to be critical, not only for Demari, but for other players as well, moving forward. To the best of my knowledge, Richard Samuels, Marcus Edwards has not been approached. Warren Webster, how are you doing, sir? I hope you're doing well. JFF have to do all they can to lift football and stuff. We need our young footballers to play more. Good one. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. I think Pinnock, Limbikisa, and Hutchinson will be the additions to play Mexico. Pinnock is not a new player, but I do get the point that you're trying to make. Well, as mentioned, Mr. Samuels, I don't think Marcus Edwards has been approached. Richard says we should forget about Tony and Gray because they don't want to play for Jamaica. That's one thought. Simon, we have to be honest, the team right now needs big improvements. Centre back, midfield wing, it's just not good enough. Reinforcements will come, I'm sure. Reinforcements will come. I'm confident about that for sure. My usual reach out to Anton Walks. Anton Walks, Charlotte FC. Born in England too. I remember him when he was at Tottenham, in the Tottenham Academy. And he got loaned to Atlanta United. Went to Portsmouth, came back to Atlanta, and now at Charlotte. Duly noted, Mr. Alvarado. Duly noted. Tony is more closer to his St. Vincent roots than Jamaica roots, in my opinion. Okay. Duly noted. In Concacaf, Bailey and Turgot as your wingers is decent enough for most competitions. Good players, yeah. Travis, you don't know that we are the only country thinking like that and we're going to get left behind. So does the interest of football have the same buzz on the rock as it does in the diaspora? The interest of football. Well, honestly, Warren, I can tell you in terms of from my circles there on the island that there's more emphasis to give domestic-based players opportunities. But whenever I am in Canada, whenever I'm in the States, whenever I'm in England, and I'm speaking to Jamaican diaspora, when I'm speaking to Jamaicans in these areas, they're all telling me about we need to get Hutchinson, we need to get Mbikisa, we need to get Latibo there. But whenever I'm on the island, it's about we need to give Devontae Hodges an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Or we need to put JD White between the sticks so that he can get another bite of the cherry. So that is what is happening on the ground, if I'm being honest with you. Vincentian Aubameyang. Interesting. Simon, you can check it out. The Canadian coach is looking for dual nationals in Europe right now, so I don't know what I think. I'm aware about that in terms of the dual nationals that John Hurtman is looking at. Absolutely. Avantone is going to end up like Troy Deeney. I'm not sure, Vincent, but I will double check that for you. I'm not sure, but it's something worth considering. Not sure, but we shall see. All right? We'll definitely see how things progress. So, folks, Travis, the Canadian coach, is looking, yeah. Trinidad and Tobago, everybody, Barbados, Trinidad, St. Lucia, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis. St. Kitts and Nevis. Yeah, that's right, folks. So, can you imagine? Yeah, I've always maintained that the best team takes the field at all times. That's how I feel. And I'm sure Coach Halgrimson will feel the same way as well. Lots of respect, a lot of admiration for the job that he has. And I look forward to the future, the immediate future, I should say, based on the work that he has at his disposal. Would I play Wes Harding at CB or right back? For me, a right back. I wouldn't necessarily put him as a central defensive option. Yeah, certainly some work to be done from a Trinidad standpoint. But yes, folks, thank you very much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. Hope everybody has a pleasant Sunday. More videos to come, more updates to come your way. Thank you guys. If you haven't already, smash the like button. Give me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content. All right, guys, more to come later today.
This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105.